89-year-old Lillian DeCloe lived in Broward County, Florida in 1994. She had health problems, including memory loss. Lillian's niece, June Nicholas, took care of her. In the late afternoon of April 29th of 1994, June entered her aunt's home. She checked the first bedroom where Lillian normally took her naps in. June then went to the end of the hall, and as she looked right, she saw Lillian's body on the floor. She had been beaten and strangled. Police found that the attacker likely entered through a bedroom window. When they saw that the house was ransacked, they believed Lillian was not specifically targeted, but it was a robbery gone wrong. Investigators collected several items from the crime scene, hoping they could be useful later on. In 2004, the Broward County Sheriff's Office retested Lillian's nightgown and found male DNA on it. The Broward County Sheriff's Office's cold case unit then reopened her case in 2019, using old case files and DNA databases to try and figure out what happened to the former teacher and nurse. Their work eventually led them to Johnny Mack Brown. He is a former United States Marine who once lived a few houses away from Lillian. His family told detectives he struggled with PTSD and drug addiction and had been homeless for several years. He passed away due to natural causes in 2010. In August of 2022, detectives got a court order to exhume Brown's body from the South Florida National Cemetery in Palm Beach County. Testing done by the Broward County Sheriff's Office Crime Lab showed that Brown's DNA was consistent with the DNA left on Lillian's nightgown. The DNA results were actually 66.8 trillion times more likely that they came from Brown than if they came from another person, according to the sheriff's office. The Broward State Attorney's Office agreed with the findings that Johnny Mack Brown was responsible for what happened to Lillian and considers the case solved. June Nicholas had this to say after the identification was announced in 2023. "I know that wherever she is, she can sleep in peace. We are glad that this is closed. We can move on. We can go in peace, because we know that it wasn't a case that went unsolved." June also recalled what she went through after discovering Lillian's body. "You know, I called Auntie. 'Where are you?' I checked the first bedroom, which she normally would take her naps in, and finally, I went down to the end of the hall, and as I looked right, I saw her on the floor." Nicholas said the violence against her aunt deeply affected her. "I took a whole year off of work, just to cope. I had someone take care of my kids for a couple of months because I couldn't cope. It was that bad. I would lay in my bed and I would see her on the floor." "35-year-old Deanna Denise Howland lived in Alton, Illinois in 2004. She was a mother of 4 who lived a transient life and battled drug addiction. Most of her children, from various fathers, never even knew her. In May of 2004, Deanna went missing. A month later, in June, a woman's remains were found dismembered at a Missouri rest stop. The discovery was made on June 28, 2004, by maintenance workers down a slope at a rest stop off Interstate 70 in Warren County, Missouri. The woman's hands, legs, and head had been removed. She was found wearing only a black bra. Police noted at the time that her body had not decomposed, meaning her life was likely taken just hours before. A knife in a nearby sewer was also recovered from the crime scene. There were a handful of other clues. Witnesses told police they saw a white utility van in the area the day before the torso was found. A series of scars showed that the woman had undergone an appendectomy and a cesarean section at some point in her life. Unfortunately, investigators were not able to identify the woman, and the case went cold. In 2016, Missouri crime lab experts asked relatives of missing females who matched the description of the unknown woman to submit their DNA samples to see if there's any matches. 3 of Deanna Howland's children submitted their DNA. A match was then made. The children were informed that the woman whose torso was found at the Missouri rest stop was their missing mother. The question that remained was who took her life. It would be a few more years before that question could be answered. In 2019, investigators could start making use of genetic genealogy. DNA on the torso and the knife was tested. Finally, in 2022, DNA testing led investigators to Mike Clardy. Officers with the Maryland Heights Police Department questioned him. Clardy then confessed to taking Deanna Howland's life. He said that he spread her remains through St. Louis and Warren counties. He also said that he took her life because of a disagreement. On January 12th of 2023, a press conference was held in St. Louis, Missouri, where investigators announced that 63-year-old Mike Anthony Clardy was arrested in connection with Deanna's case. Deanna's daughter, Ashley Kinnear, had this to say at the press conference. "I want to say thank you to everybody. I'm very shocked and impressed at how many people are here, and how many people want to know, and how many people are invested in this story, because I always have been, and it's always been my mom. And I knew that you know something had happened. I knew she just didn't decide to get rid of us. And to me, to know that there's that many other people that care, that believe that as well, and that are as interested in getting that side out, not just saying, you know, she was a body part found. They're also interested in who she was, and how our life would have been different if we would have had a mom there to help teach us things that moms are supposed to teach their kids." Clardy is currently being detained on a cash bond of $1 million in Warren County. As Deanna's head and limbs were never recovered, it is hoped that Clardy could take investigators to the area where he disposed of her.